What's up, VC? What's up, vinyl community? It's Dan hanging out with you for Dan's Vinyl Channel. If I'm getting a little crazy eyed this morning, it's because I've already recorded this video, but I didn't have any sound because I didn't turn the microphone on. So, just the way the old cookie crumbles for me this morning. Anyway, I hope you guys are having a great week so far, all recovering safely. You guys in the U.S. from Memorial Day, maybe you're still getting over a hangover, but hopefully everybody's doing really good. And wanted to do some more of those recent rock and metal pickups, although this is mainly going to be focusing on one band that was part of these rock and metal pickups that I made in that those like 30 records that I bought recently that showed up that you never see around here. And I should have had these records. I'm almost ashamed that I didn't in my collection, because I'm a big fan of Def Leppard, y'all. That's right. So, what do we got here? On Through the Night. All right. So, first off, before we talk about the music on this record, I want to address the artwork. You see this? That artwork is amazing. Like I would love to have like a 1978 Dodge van, the kind with a porthole window with this painted on the side of it. That would just be incredible. What we have here is like a Gibson SG. Looks like you can tell by like some of the body contours here. I believe that's an SG. So apparently what we have going on here is that there's a race of rock and roll giants that are on the moon. And we're bringing their instruments back to Earth, is what it looks like. So it looks like, but here's the thing: it's a space capable 18-wheeler. So could you imagine? I hope this is the future that we have here. All right. Some rock and roll giants are living on the moon. They're coming over. They're going to do a gig right here on Earth. So that's what I like to imagine that our future will be like. Def Leppard's On Through the Night. All right, let's get to the music on this one because I haven't listened to this. Okay, so I have the cassette, and I've had the cassette for a very long time. This is this is an old one. I think I got this at a garage sale years and years and years and years and years ago. So I don't have a proper tape deck, and I never picked this up on CD, and I never really bothered to stream it for some reason. I don't know. It was just one of those things. So no proper cassette deck. I know I see this on vinyl. I'm like, oh, yeah, that one's mine. I remember a few songs on here, Rock Brigade, Hello America. But, guys, I forgot just how diverse and awesome this album was. I mean, I was sure that High and Dry was my favorite record by Def Leppard, if you would have asked me, a month ago. But upon hearing this, I'm not sure anymore. I'm not so sure. I'm really loving On Through the Night right now. So what I'm noticing is on some of the cuts on here, like Satellite, you got like that twin guitar kind of harmony thing going on. It's kind of, reminiscent of Thin Lizzy, maybe it's a little dark at points. So it kind of reminds me of like, it goes a little minor key, kind of reminds me of some Maiden. And it's just like some of the stuff is really heavy, screaming guitar solos. You get into the walls came tumbling down. It gets into like, it's this proggy kind of sound. It gets super heavy, and then you get to like on side B, you've got like It Don't Matter and Answer to the Master on here, which we're getting into like some Skinner to like some roots of metal that I'm hearing on here, and then finally we cap this off with Overture, which is like another proggy song, and then you get into like some Thin Lizzy kind of sounding guitar stuff going on. What just amazing. I like Pete Willis era. I mean, I love Phil Collin, but I really like Pete Willis as well. I mean, this was a really just solid record. And so after I listened to this, I was kind of like, man, this is like real heavy. So I do the Google search and I check it out on Wikipedia, and apparently this is considered part of the new wave of British heavy metal. This said that this album here solidified that. So I'm not sure. I'm not an expert on new wave of British heavy metal. You would have to talk to like Andy at Cloudy Milder, or you'd have to talk to like Bev at Clarkovision. They would be able to tell you more. Bev would definitely be able to tell you more about Def Leppard. So yeah, Def Leppard's On Through the Night, part of that collection. Proud to have this in my vinyl collection now. So cool. So this one I also just had on cassette, but I wore several of these cassettes out when I was a kid, so I was very familiar with this record. My sister had this record, Def Leppard's High and Dry. I was always just blown away by the album cover. It's one of the coolest album covers of the 80s, I would say. I just love everything about this. Now, over at Cosmic Vinyl, Brian was talking about this record recently, and he was like, look at Joe Elliott's a brunette. And so when I saw him show that picture, I'm like, my gosh, my sister had that exact haircut in the 80s. I mean, there's pictures of her, like the school pictures that she had, this exact haircut, guys. Pretty awesome. But yeah, love this record. Def Leppard's High and Dry. I mean, Let It Go, High and Dry. I mean, Bringing on the Heartbreak was on here. And then they re-released Bringing on the Heartbreak, I think. But yeah, great stuff. Def Leppard's High and Dry. Also in that collection, is very happy to have it. But we're not just stopping with Def Leppard on that album. So we're going to move into Pyromania, guys. Yeah. Now, this was the one I was most familiar with. This is the one that got wore out. Well, not really. But this got wore out. Then there was another record of theirs that got released that definitely got wore out. That cassette did. But yeah, Pyromania, these guys solidified themselves. Huge success. Rock Till You Drop. Photograph is on here. Too Late for Love. Foolin', Rock of Ages. And I remember around the time this came out, Bringing on the Heartbreak was also, I think it was like re-released or something. So, yeah, Def Leppard, Pyromania. You can't go wrong with this Def Leppard record. Phil Collin joins them on this album. Yes, okay, thank God. I didn't make a jerk out of myself. But yeah, so Phil Collins, well, I do that anyway. But Phil Collins joined them on this album. So, yeah, there you go. Def Leppard's Pyromania. You can't go wrong. So, if I didn't find those first 3 Def Leppard albums, if that wasn't enough, well, my goodness, you got to find Hysteria too. Yeah, I picked this one up as well, which I got to admit, I was a little skeptical of it. I wasn't skeptical. I knew I was going to pick it up. I didn't care, but I was a little skeptical of the sound quality when I put it on. Because this is a long record. This thing goes for like 60 minutes plus. And that's a lot to cram on one LP. And normally when you do that, your sound quality starts to go down quite a bit. But listening to this, it sounds great. It sounds dynamic to me. It doesn't sound compressed, or it doesn't sound muddy. It doesn't sound muffled. I don't have the 2LP to compare it to. But my gosh, guys, this record, yeah, this was the one that got probably the most play by me. Not my favorite Def Leppard record, but the one that I'm most familiar with. So it's probably been 20 years since I heard this, so I got a nice break from it. You'll occasionally hear like maybe something like Love Bites on the radio or something like that, but or Pour Some Sugar on Me will be on somewhere. But you just don't hear a lot of cuts off this album. So it was it's a great album. I've been listening to it. It's hit the turntable a few times. But yeah, I remember when the video for Women came out, it was like a big deal because this is after Rick Allen Am I getting his name right? I want to make sure I'm getting these names right, guys. Was Rick Allen the drummer? Yes, Rick Allen. there's there's two Ricks in there, isn't there? Is there a Rick Savage? Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I wanted to make sure I got Rick Allen. This is, he had lost his arm, so this was like a big deal. Def Leppard was coming back, and I remember the video like it was yesterday. It was like some cool comic book art going on, all kinds of stuff for women. There's this like kid on a skateboard with a mullet. And he just looked completely 80s out, man. But yeah, I mean, there was so many hits on this record. You had Women, Rocket, Animal, Love Bites, Pour Some Sugar on Me, Armageddon It, Hysteria. I mean, this thing is chocked full of hits, guys. And Metallica fans, did you guys notice a little similarity of this album cover and a certain album cover called Hardwired to Self-Destruct? Yeah, me too. So Metallica, you guys stole Def Leppard's cover. Look at that. But, I don't know. I'm just glad to see Metallica's putting a lot of effort in their music again. I like Hardwired. That's on my list to get soon. That's one I haven't picked up yet. Anyway, yeah, great record. Def Leppard's Hysteria. You can't go wrong, guys. This was a huge record when I was a kid. I wore out a tape or two of this one, for sure. I was very happy to get those first 4 Def Leppard albums. I never really was familiar with Adrenalize too much. It just didn't speak to me like those albums did. But maybe it's time I revisit some of that stuff. Adrenalize, that had like Let's Get Rocked on it, I think. That was a big radio hit for them. So I'm in a couple of Facebook groups that do like vinyl record deals. And this one popped up, and I was like, "Oh, sweet! $10 for a comp, I'll do it." Motley Crue's greatest hits, 2 LPs. The only Motley Crue I have a promo copy of Too Fast for Love. It's not the Leather Records one. It's when they were signed to, I want to say Elektra. At that point, I'm not sure the label on it, but I was checking out Jimmy the Saint's video. Speaking of Motley Crue, he got that Inheritance collection. If you guys aren't familiar with Jimmy the Saint, you guys need to check out his channel. Good stuff there. He got an inheritance. He got a collection that he inherited, and he has like an original Leather Records pressing of that. So very sought after, and the sound is apparently way better on that one. I haven't heard that mix. So, but apparently it's the superior of the two. So anyway, yeah. But this has all the hits on it. You got Shout the Devil, Looks to Kill, of course. Too Young to Fall in Love. Then you get Theater of Pain territory, Smoke in the Boys Room. You're getting Wild Side. You're getting Girls, 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 and then Dr. Feelgood. You got like Kickstart My Heart, Same Old Situation. Don't Go Away Mad, which is probably my favorite Motley Crue song. There's a lot of there's a big gatefold here. It's a very glossy album. It's nice. It feels substantial. I like that. Doesn't sound too bad to my ears. But I don't have an original copy of the. I have like this and the Too Fast for Love album. I don't have anything to compare them to, but it sounds pretty good to me. So anyway, yeah, I was happy to pick that up for $10. I mean, come on, brand new record for $10 like that. Yeah, I'll jump on a comp. I like comps. I'm gonna do a video about comps at some point. But anyway, I've been threatening that for a while. But maybe I'll get to that next month. So anyway, you guys, I hope you're having a great week so far. I hope you have a great rest of your week. Hope you guys are doing all right after our Memorial Day. So. Our Memorial Day holiday here in the U.S., so I hope you guys are doing great. So you guys just keep digging them rekkids, all right? Peace out. We'll talk to you guys later. See